it wanted me to relog into Twitch. Whoops, now it's being even weirder. Oh, come on! Is it gonna make me do the same thing? Okay. Connecting to chat. God. Cool. I think it's working. For some reason, I got logged out of everything today, and I don't really know why. But maybe that's a good thing. Let's tweet. Let's see. This is okay. Streaming my campaign planning. I'm just gonna start a hashtag 8 games a week. Hashtag TTRPG. And then my usual twitch.tv backslash Aelvin Wizard King. Oh well, heck. Testing. Okay. Jeez, what in the world? Eli, do you hear both the music and me? Well, that's enough fussing for now, I think. Cool. All right, Monday game. We didn't do anything this week, but that's okay. That was kind of understood that like, long story short, there's activities happening where this just didn't happen, so I'm not super worried about that. We'll revisit the Monday game next week, which should be fine. There's decent interest in it and all that, so I think we're good. Tuesdays. So my Wrath and Glory game is going swimmingly. Since last time I posted an episode, so we lost audio for what would have been episode 4, and I posted what is effectively a dramatic retelling of episode 4 in this kind of like almost radio drama fashion. I was really happy with it. If you haven't heard it, let me know. I will post the link to the chat, and we will kind of go from there. But yeah, like I said, I'm really super happy with Wrath and Glory. Everything's going excellently. Let me go ahead and redo the last time. So journal. I actually ended up using this recap from last week to kind of do the dramatic retelling, which is really good. And I can delete this because this is a copy of the previous episode, as they mostly are. Haven't caught up. No worries. I mean, you've got the link, but once you get to episode 4, it's literally 4 minutes long. Just shy of, I guess I should say literally. It's not literally, but it's just shy of 4 minutes long. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recording it. I was pretty happy. So last time on Dead Hope, we're going to be succinct about this group. Decided to investigate Space Hulk, like I was fairly certain they would. Found that it was safe but eerie. Discovered strange anomalies, after image ghosts, and spider machines with no machine spirits. Vincare suspects they are heretic and were created by other machines, which is a big, no in the Cult Mechanicus. After a lot of deliberation, the group went further, destroyed a few doors, and discovered a danger. Middle scorpions. The stingers seemed to have a special effect and made the targets disappear. Eventually, group discovered that the disappeared people were in a digital realm. So that's it. That's pretty much what happened last time. It was a like, let's just call it a less eventful session, but that was okay. It was a lot of kind of not deliberation. Sorry. Now where was I? A lot of deliberation. Group went further. Yeah. So it was a relatively less eventful game, but which is fine. Should be relatively interesting as things kind of transpire. The group has discovered the crux of what the Space Hulk is about, but they haven't really understood what is behind it, like in the more detailed sense. So they don't know. They know it's Tau. They know there's probably an abominable intelligence on board, but they don't know exactly what happened or how or why. So they're going to learn that, but they're going to have to deal with this kind of digital playground first. And then they're probably going to have a big fight with the machine later. So let's see. Other aftermath items. Notoriety. Phenodius should be interesting. Group into conflict. So this is still happening. But let's see. So that was... Let's see, I think I'm going to rename this. So session 7, group Tau. All right. Because I guess technically this is episode 6. Right? I think I'm all messed up on when it is. Okay, session 7. Yeah, because last week was 5. This is going to be 6. So all of this information is still relevant. Warp entity that inhabits the AI can be defeated. Maybe have it be like a fantasy world. Mirror Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah. I like this. Could be tweaked. Should be fun, relatively low stakes. Yeah, so Tau fucked around, found out, tainted by chaos. Engine shut down as a last resort by last living Tau. So I want to highlight this because there should be a Tau on board that is alive. But I'm not sure how he would have lived and how long ago this was. No. Oops. I take that back. No one would have lived. It would have been interesting. Before he got digitized. Digitized. Hello, Looney. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. AI hopes to lure others in so that it can taint and grow elsewhere. Antagonists in Space Hulk include small to medium robots. Let's just make small to large, because this guy don't give no fucks. Loot includes war gear of those who were tricked by Space Hulk previously murdered. Maybe a minor STC? Question mark? Question mark? Two things that will happen on the ship. Group will interact with Digital Nightmare. Okay. Group will be goaded by the mainframe to be extracted. Maybe preying on the... this could be interesting. Group will be helped to avoid this course of action by maybe the one Tau they can save. Maybe the Tau can... Yep. Okay. All of that looks good. There's nothing really to plan because it's exactly as I was expecting it to go. And there's still all this stuff to do. So it's very simple. Except for one thing. Let's see. Digital Nightmare. Warhammer Fantasy. Group must go to Ogre's Cave. Defeat Ogre and 3 orcs. May have pet. Let's just call it a rat wolf. Simple, but also tainted by chaos. Include creepy things like... Oh, I just had the best idea. Enemies are actually the Tau. If they die in the game, they die in real life. Tau have been digitally damned because they can't be warp damned. So this is how Chaos decided to play it. Mainframe pits group versus Tau says only the group that survives can leave. It is probably lying anyway. May go on diatribe about how mortal life is tedious. Distasteful, full of suffering. Yeah, that's good. All of my homies hate the Tau. Yeah. I mean, what would be, like, I want to say, like, everybody hates Chris, but, like, everybody hates Tau. I feel like there's a better pun to be had there. I like this diatribe idea. Like this abominable intelligence, it isn't like it's not entirely like a force of chaos. It's not like a daemon that takes over a computer, but it's an intelligence that instead is corrupted. So maybe I should even like I shouldn't say warp entity because it's not exactly like there's a warp entity that did this. Um, where did I write warp entity? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Hologram. Um, and the AI can be defeated. Maybe have it be yeah. So it's just an AI. Like I should be more distinct about that. Like it got corrupted by the warp, like abominable intelligences can be, but it is just the intelligence. The intelligence became hyper intelligent and then became corrupted. And in its corruption, it's like, yeah, human life sucks. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And I'm wondering then if I should. So y'all can help me decide. We joke about the Tau. Should I have any Tau savable? Right now I have one, but I wonder if I should have the group be able to like figure this out. And actually, if group, oops, let's undo this highlight. If group decides not to kill orcs and ogre or ogren, I don't know how what they're just ogres in Warhammer Fantasy. I bet I don't know. Then they must fight a dragon to get out, but Vincare can maybe summon cool items or even war gear. So that would be neat. Like if Vincari gets to do some like digital tinkering. Oh man, now I'm getting all these ideas. Vincare may want to steal the digitized tech. So basically, it's a holodeck, except it's a little bit more involved in that. Like a holodeck, you walk in and it creates things. This actually puts you in it's virtual reality. It's like it's all of the anime that's like isekai but like digital. It's like, oh, you go into this digital realm and all that. Matrix. Yeah. Except it doesn't like shut down your body and use your brain. It literally pulls you into a digital realm. Like your body is in there. So even though these the enemies and everything are going to be like these low polygon like PlayStation 1 era looking guys, um the people who are there, like the group that enters the digital realm is going to be like themselves, like they will exist. It's kind of like if you've ever watched Legends of the Hidden Temple. It'll look like that. It'll be really goofy and on purpose. um Shoot, but the trick is that the longer you stay in there, the more digitized you become. So obviously, the Tau, who have been in there for probably hundreds of years in some kind of digital stasis, have slowly over time become these like low poly count um, poly sprites, and so that's interesting. How that'll affect them if and when they leave the digital realm, I have not decided. Maybe some of them are too far gone. Maybe they come out and they have been mutated by this kind of digiwarp, this what would we call it? Like this warp matrix? I don't know. But anyways, yeah. Oh man, these are great ideas. I love that I spent some time fleshing this out. Okay. So yeah. And then let's see. All come out with their own personal Digimon pets. Yeah, we made the Digimon joke. We're joking that Simsul the Orc is going to digivolve into an Orc war boss, but not quite. Let's see. Actual boss will be. I want it to be something fun, something interesting. Boss will be a Chaos Dragon, but metallic. 3 heads like Ghidra, and 3 actions as a result. Okay. All right. That's great. That's fine. I love it. Cool. What color metal? Silver. Chrome or bismuth? I don't know. I like bismuth, but I think chrome is more on point. Imagine, Looney says, imagine getting isekai and being all excited about what wondrous adventures you'll live in an exotic setting, and then you find out you got isekai into being an Amazon Weiji Keiji dweller. Weiji Keiji dweller? You mean like the people who do like the Amazon packaging and all that? Let's see. Cat metallic. That was something I was gonna write in here. Shoot. Oh yeah. If some group members don't enter digital realm, then they will be attacked by 4 to 5 Terminator bots. Like T. What is Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's a T-800? Yep, that's the Amazon cages. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. I mean, this is almost as bad. Getting isekai into Warhammer, like a Warhammer Fantasy, like virtual reality, would be about as bad as that. Like all the things about Warhammer Fantasy, basically mirror the way it is in Warhammer 40k. Is that it's just like it's bleak, it's terrible. You're likely to die, and if you die, you're very likely to die in the worst possible way. You might get torn in half. T-800, thank you. You might get crushed under a rock. Like, you know, the whole point of the game is that it's like, it is bleak, it is desperate, it is like, if you get anything, it is because you have crawled over a mountain of skulls to get there, and there's likely another mountain of skulls between you and your retirement, which is death. If you live that long. 2 things that will happen on the ship group will... Okay, so we know all of that. La Black Rock Fortress. Okay, man, I really like this. And then... keep thinking about how and why there will be... tech for group to find, whether it is Necron, old ones, or something else. Maybe, just maybe, Dark Age of Tech stuff. Still thinking about it. And this is really this little bit, I'm not going to highlight it, but is really like the crux of my campaign, and I really need to solidify it, because I was thinking of making it Necron tech, but it just seems like if I do Necrons as what they're looking for, like the Necron tech. It might just be a little bit too much, like too heretical. So I want to pull back from that. Maybe, but I haven't decided yet. Arnie has been both a T800 and a T850, and a weird hybrid of 800 and 1000 in Genesis. Man, why do they have to ruin a good thing like that? Anyway, war gear, Tau weapons, power armor? Could be neat. Chain swords, las guns, Eldari stuff. Maybe have a cache of Inquisition items, and they get a clue from the possession to go to a remote planet where the Inquisition is up to something. Possessions. I don't know what possessions, as in items. When you think of Inquisition and possessions, you think of like a ghostly possession or like a warp possession. To go to a remote planet where the Inquisition is up to something could be neat. Maybe point to... Okay, well, no. Why am I writing could be neat? I know that. Yeah, I know Terminator should have ended at 2. Absolutely it should have. 3 is debatable. Like, it was fun, but yeah. Yeah, the less said about all that, the better. I never watched that TV show, though. I've heard good things, question mark. Like, maybe it was decent. At some point, they just need to make all of the Terminator... Like, everything after Terminator 2 should have been like a what if. Should have been like this is a separate timeline. It could even have been a, like, hey, in the moments before Skynet is destroyed temporally, it goes over all of the different possibilities, and sends different robots back through those possibilities to try and enact them and create separate timelines. But the main one is, well, I don't know. I'm getting into the whole thing. Are the Necromongers and Furians in Warhammer 40k? What the hell are Necromongers and Furians? Are Furians? Are you referring to like the creatures that are in those videos where the Death Watch are constantly fighting the furries? Chronicles of Riddick Races. Okay, so that's something completely different. No, although it wouldn't surprise me if they were somehow inspired by that. Like, there's bits... I don't know a lot about the Chronicle of Riddick series, but I would presume that some of it has been inspired by chance. But I don't know that 100%. In fact, I'm gonna look it up because I am very curious about that. I traditionally spend a lot of time on this section, but I think I'm good with the planning for next session, which is tomorrow. But I do want to... Whoops, we've gone too far. Things to remember. Dark Elves. Yeah, the Dark Elves, we need to bring them back. We need to have... There's a whole document that I've been adding stuff to. High Fortress Biomedes. Thalassar. Yeah, I like this guy. We'll use him. Benodius Thimbar. Okay, so we're going to create someone else because we need to keep creating NPCs. Riddick is a Freyan. Okay, don't get me ranting about Dark Fate because that garbage movie's depiction of Mexico is one of the most bizarre I've ever seen. Oh god. I don't even want to know about that. Alright. So let's make another NPC, and we need someone who's going to be interesting. We've made a lot of people... Okay, so they're probably going to go to Gilead Prime. So who is a person on Gilead Prime that they can run into that would be interesting? I'm going to say Administratum Administratum official. Let's see. Tendrin Lissac. And okay. Tendrin Lissac, so an admin who is trying to ensure that there is so let's just say trying to ensure that Gilead Prime survives. It's in over his head. Only one currently with a big picture view. May ask group to, let's see, visit uh, an admin office in a neighboring hive in exchange for passage to next port. Where to from Gilead Prime? Let's see. I don't know anything about Gilead Prime, but if you don't have a Danny Trejo character, you can shoehorn one in. Why not? Machete. A bounty hunter looking for. Let's see. I need to go back to my notes that contain all the NPCs because I know there's an NPC that should be like a most wanted type. Let me look. Warhammer 40k Dead Hope, is that mine? I think it is. Okay, Veldon family. This thing just needs to load, I guess. Come on now. Oh no, there's just... There we are. Lady Hyacinth, Bryfandelia Casvarin. We're gonna have to have Bryfandelia run into them. And in fact, it's Outlaw Asteroid. I don't want to call it Colony, but Outlaw Asteroid Haven. Bryfandelia Casvarin will be there. So that sets us up great. Like, I want them to go to this asteroid haven because that's going to be a real, like, interesting out. Like, it's just going to be the Wild West in space. It's like the protagonist lives in this goddamn vecindad despite those being phased out in favor of multifamiliar complexes in the 60s. Multifamiliares themselves being phased out in a hurry after Tlatelolco became a charnel house. Eee. Okay. So Guardsman. Galvanus Breston. Lick of the Whip. Galvanus Breston, aka Lick of the Whip. Machete is Machete is not a Catachan or Catacan fighter, but is from Catacan and is tough as reinforced nails. Likely on Gleamhaven. See, I started rambling like a crazy cat lady. I'll shut up now. No, Looney, I'm very interested to hear more about that. But you're saying that they're like the protagonist lived in some like outdated building or whatever. Like what? And it's supposed to be modern day. Like, what's the deal there? Like, why would they do something like that? And is it something that maybe has been what in the hecking heck was I even saying? Is it something that you would have seen in like some kind of Mexican media, Cats alternate reality probably, that like maybe just stuck with someone. Like maybe someone saw a movie from the 70s that was then set in the 50s, and maybe someone's like, oh, that's what Mexico's like. Because I see stupid shit like that all the time. I see it in American media, to be completely honest. um the outlaw asteroid haven needs something. It needs a name. um Outlaw asteroid haven. um Garvardi cluster. Home to a slew of outlaws, heretics, ne'er do wells. I don't know how do you ne'er do wells. So there we go. Others may contain a heretical inquisition group. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have a um have one of the dangerous inquisition cells, the factions, come in from Segmentum Solar. Yes, and try to take over. This is a big thing. This is an idea I had the other day, and I need to get it down on paper. Fact. Let's see. Cynthia, was that a proposed name for the asteroid cluster? All right. Tendrin. Let's go back to Tendrin for a second. Okay, we'll use that for something. Um, Cynthia. In fact, Cynthia will be a designer drug made on Garvardi cluster that affects perception of time and may even awaken psyker powers. Abjectly dangerous for very obvious reasons. Warring chaos cults, and the game is being played by proxy, so at least 4 cults are fighting for territory on the cluster. My take is the director and or producers watched way too much Chavo del Ocho, oh my god, and thought, yeah, I bet Mexico City is still just like that, and went full steam ahead with that depiction despite like only 3% of Mexico DF's population still living in dilapidated holdouts from the 50s. Yeah, I don't get it. People are just weird. And yeah, I bet you all of their information was filtered through that. That's terrible. Like I wish they would not do that. But oh well. All right. Where in Tarnation? Okay. Territory. So now I'm getting this whole thing for the Garbardi cluster, and I think that's going to be fascinating. And the group is going to have to navigate these chaos cults. Like they're going to have to play nice with the chaos cults to a degree. Like they can blam one or two here and there, but they can't just wage war on all they can. Like it's just insane. Like you couldn't. The best you could do is pick a side and start killing off their enemies, and then maybe kill that side. But oh, like it's yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. Like there's no winning there, and I think that's the point. Like there's not a success there. Like you just have to like go in, get what you need, get the hell out. but I'm fascinated. Okay, Cynthia. Let's see. I'm moving this because that's not relevant to the fact that the drugs are being made out there. For obvious reasons, used a lot by the cults. Um, they are trying to export it to spread chaos, both literally, both chaos in the sense of like, um, kind of like little c chaos, and also like chaos is in the word. Okay. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Looney, yeah, just there's they need to give more of these things to Mexican directors or something. Or just pay someone a consultation fee. Good God. Good God. And then the dad works at an auto plant, despite, oh my God, a glut of Mexico's auto plants. Now, even I know that, being located in Puebla, and I'm like, from Delegacion Cuauhtemoc to Puebla? That's a hell of a commute, chief. God. Anyway, Cynthia. I really like the idea of the designer drug. Okay. So Chandran, boy, we're spending a lot of time here, but man, these are great ideas. This is good stuff. Tendrin is desperate and may need extended help. Uh, could be a few sessions of fetch quests, like deposing hive gangs, like abundant war chests, favors, position. So I think I'm conflating Thalassar with Tendrick, but that's okay. I think they'll both work together. But Phenodius. So Phenodius will be a factor in this. So like at some point the group is going to go up against Phenodius because this guy's like, hey, I need this gang hive leader defeated because he's causing too many problems, and the group can do it because they're the big damn heroes. Um, but it won't be easy, and it will take some doing. So this could be a whole, like, all of this. Both of these fellows could be like 3 or 4 sessions just dealing with all of this business before they even get onto the Garvardi cluster. So that should be a lot of fun. I mean, if I had, Looney says, if I had to commute from downtown DF to the outskirts of Puebla every day, I'd be clamoring for Skynet to release me from my suffering. Yes. All right, Ministratum official. Okay. Whoops. There we are. So this is a lot of information, and I've kind of overwrought it, but that's okay. I'll eventually assemble all of this into something usable. But I have a lot of good ideas, and they don't stop coming, and they won't stop coming. All right, Wednesday, Dawn of Thay. The group finally finished the Kenneth Schematica adventure. Group, whoops, will be torn between following Nothic, who took a precious item, and helping druids fight the Thayans. So we've got all the stuff for the Thayans. Valindra Shadow Mantle could be fun. Thayan City tied to Merc Group. The Zentarum. Oops. Okay. first job after dungeons is to go to Druid Grove, Dimensional Anomaly, manipulating. Okay. Cool. I still need to find a good museum map. So we'll work on that. That's gonna be. I need to do something different because now I'm having so many highlights that they're kind of starting to lose meaning. So this highlight needs to be green. So green is homework now. Do I have any homework up here? Outlaw Asteroid Haven. These aren't Veldin. Okay, Veldin is going to be important actually. Issue needs addressing. So this, I'm going to make a different color. Let's make it orange. This may be for later. So this business is not going to be relevant for a while, probably. Okay. Blackrock Fortress. I try about how mortal life is. Okay, no, none of this is homework. I still need to do that. Although I'm not as concerned, I feel like I can do that ad hoc. But we'll leave that note there. All right. Klaus the Gnome. So all we're gonna do today is just talk about what happened last time. Klaus went through the Cave of Wonders, solved some riddles, retrieved the Disc of Tyranny, and saved the kobolds. So there's that. More to be learned about Vecna and his machinations. Disc will need to be taken to a an expert. Actually, discs. And that's all I'm saying, because that's all that's relevant right now. The Nature's Dragon Druid Circle. I need to mess with this and put it in a form that I want to release. Gnome is a diamond in the rough. Oh goodness. Yes. All right. Corsalia is the name of the unicorn. Okay, so that's good. I still haven't done my homework. Boy, I've been just busy back to back, pretty much. But that's okay. War drums. Oh man, we are getting so close, actually. So we're just gonna delete that. Coliseum, testing those who. This is exactly how it went out. Like this was fantastic. Soliad, summon devils. No, actually, rune giants. Magogers. Pontifex supported by Elder Faust and Maggot Demon. Nightwalker. Looney, my favorite part of our last class session was Klaus making the Sneed Kiwi coins. Oh my goodness. You did make Sneed Kiwi coins. That's hilarious. You know what? We didn't do these. And maybe I should have, but I don't feel too bad about it because we didn't have a lot of time. Cooking, hunting, oratory. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's all fine. All right, teams for combat. Yeah, we did all that. Probably have the group fight Pontifex. Zoliad leads Shantico's group. Zoliad wins, group wins, they fight. So group will go against Rude Giants, weakened by Nightwalker. Okay, that's exactly how it all went. I didn't even need to do that. So I'm gonna delete this because like all of this happened. And I have it on my other document, but like group to fight one death giant, one rune giant. Use death giant stats. If group wins, they get the essence, but Zoliad retreats. If they lose, Zoliad will retreat anyway. Power boost. Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to. Yeah, I need to figure this out. I'm gonna need to come up with a different menu of items. I'll think about this. How about this? Okay. I'm just trying to think of stuff that I've never run before that I would like to, and that isn't too tedious. Maybe I'll propose an Eberron game. I think they would like Eberron. And I'm kind of stuck. There's a lot of things that I would like to do that are maybe a little bit too much of. Oh shoot! How did this get shifted? By the way. This should be more readable. Why is this not? Did I move this by accident? Probably did. Okay. So we wanna offer Eberron. Oh, maybe for them I will run Curse of Strahd. I have been wanting to do that. Second Darkness. Siblings? So Second Darkness is a it's actually a Paizo adventure path for Galarian for Pathfinder. But that could be a lot of fun. Let's see, Winter. What was the one that I was saying? Wolves. I'm gonna propose Wolves of Winter because I think that could be neat, and that would still be in Palladium Fantasy. Second Darkness. All right. Yeah, I'm confident with this. I like this. So if we move on to a different game on Thursdays, these are the things that I'm going to propose. Wolves of Winter is the only other game that I have decided to run from the other groups that I'm proposing ideas. Okay. Friday. Not much has changed on Fridays, although the student game. They still want to play in real time instead of like as a shared universe game. Looney says, "Look, if you're pressed for ideas right now, you can just rope your group into a tournament park." Maybe I'll just isekai them into a different world. Like I haven't done that several times before. Student game, call no. Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So they seem to be keen on the Wild Beyond the Witchlight adventure, which is a relatively short one. Should be fun. Maybe set something up as a PvP in between games. Alright. Also, game on Fridays. Alright, well, there we go. And then the coworker game is the big one. Like, I don't know how or what to do with this, because we just need one more person. Like, we literally just need one more person. Like, really, almost anyone. But like, I've been looking for people, and this is an in-person game, so that makes it very difficult. But we'll figure it out. All right, Saturday, Tyranny of Dragons. Ready to diverge. Group went into hatchery, incurred the ire of the lonely gaze. No, lonely pupil. Actually, yeah, I love that. A Cyclops Nothic half-dragon. One of Tiamat's chief agents in Oral. Also, group incurred wrath of strikes twice. The Blue Dragon. Harper's agent was with them when strikes twice struck. Helped teleport them out, but Titian and the Harper agent, whose name I forget, were captured, but group might think them dead. Let's see. Group is now in Neverwinter. Oops. And they will seek the black mask amongst cultists. Try to make this more RP related and include elements of actually this would be really good for what is it? Elements of Dragon Heist. Maybe pick a faction. Could be cool to use Castle Lanterns. I think that's their name. Looney says, and suddenly your character receives an invitation from the Frugal Bear Einstein. Yes, and he's making a tournament to find out who's the world's strongest. Wait, what? Where did this come from? Why now? Quiet! I mean, could it be a VHS tape that steals someone's soul? Because I'm down for that. I love that the start of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, not counting season 0, obviously, but the start of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a VHS tape that, like, will forever mark its age. There's a goddamn VHS tape at the very beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! And now it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7th Dimension or whatever the hell they're up to now is like in the hyper future. And I think most of the people from Yu-Gi-Oh! Are still alive. Like, it's insane. They went from having VHS tapes, and mind you, at the time that VHS tape was happening, there was like holographic monster arenas. Gotta run, guys. Have a good night. Thank you, Eli. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you next week. Hopefully. And no worries if not. But anyway, sorry, I'm just ranting about Yu-Gi-Oh! now. All right, that's a Saturday game. Sunday game starting. We're still working on the Sunday game, but we're probably doing Mediterranean stuff. Sinbad the Sailor, Kaiju, probably using the Phi and Lopan regions of Palladium Fantasy. Good night, Eli. And all right, here we go. All right, yeah, we did all of that. There's still more to plan. Let's see, preliminary stuff. Probably have this be about not waking giant monsters. Cults will abound. The monsters will be the dreams of the old ones taking form. These old ones, these dreams, are physical and can only be destroyed by using a special weapon from the Feywilds. Yeah, I'm liking it. Cool. So here's some fun stuff. I mean, I'll take a VHS tape that teleports characters into a fighting arena, and if they lose to Frugal, he dips them in molten copper and makes statues out of them. It's funny you mentioned molten copper. I was just listening to a Warhammer 40k like lore dump where they were talking about how some Inquisitor went too far and used too many methods that were considered heretical, and they executed her by lowering her into molten bronze, I think it was, or brass. It was brass. I mean, I don't suppose that it doesn't make a huge difference, but that's what they did. All right, we're at the 1 hour mark. We have more or less done this. We're gonna do more with this. There's not a lot more that I want to do just yet before I kind of get some better ideas. Actually, no. Let's just do first session. Island of Adventure. Island has treasure, but also is first sighting of kaiju. Giant vulture is sighted as group goes to fight, let's just say, demon cultists on island and get treasure. That should be fun. Yes. Okay. So the demon cultists are going to be non-consequential. All right. Shantico cultists. Cool. All right. It is now time for D&D and Q&A. I would like to do a 40k King of Fighters crossover, not gonna lie. Don't know how that would work, but I've seen Kyo Kusanagi and John Cena in official art, so anything is possible. There's a couple of ways you could do that. You could either have the King of Fighters exist in the warp, which it would perfectly do. But also there could just be worlds that exist. Now who's... Oh, somebody sent me a message. Sorry, y'all. All right, sorry. So just real quick, let's just write that in as if it was a Warhammer 40k, a question, because I like that idea. X King of Fighters So either a place in the warp, and there are realms that are basically controlled by the 4 warp gods. So Khorne, I think that's Khorne. I can't remember his name. Well, the spelling of it, anyways. Khorne may have a realm of fighting. Maybe dudes like Geese and Rugal are daemons of Khorne. Maybe Terry and Andy are like people who got stuck in the warp? Question mark. Also, there are a number of planets that have been undiscovered since the age of, let's just say, undiscovered since the advent of the Emperor. Maybe some are modern and have wacky stuff. But people like Terry Bogard and Rugal, like, they're totally just psychers. They're really powerful physically, but they're psychers. Just had the most hilarious mental image of a furious Inquisitor yelling at an increasingly confused Shermie. Yeah. And I mean, oh my god, could you just imagine Orochi? Like, man, that guy would be all kinds of heretical. He's like extra heretical. Alright. Now it's bugging me. What is that dang guy's name? Blood God. 40k. Khorne. Khorne. There we go. For Khorne! I just, yeah, so I mean, you could absolutely do Warhammer X King of Fighters. In fact, oh man, a fighting game like that? Like, if you had a matchup of, like, Space Marines versus the dudes from the Ikari Warriors series, like that business, that'd be fucking dope. Oh, that's the crossover. That's how you get it. Is Ikari Warriors 2? They go to for 40k, and then you have to bring back. Was it Mad Dog? Who's the villain in Ikari Warriors? Ikari, I guess, Warriors. Victory Road. I just need the wiki for this, if you would be so kind. But that's perfect. I might even have to use that. Conversions. Time Warriors. Time Soldiers. Frontline. Sorry, now I'm... Okay, so I guess it's just called Victory Road, which is weird. Let's see. Voiceovers, that's right. I might even just play this right after we're done, because, man, I love that stupid game. It's so dumb, but I love it. No, the villain's name is Zhang Zip. It's like, What is Zhang Zip? Is he a warp entity? Is he a Drukhari maybe? Drukhari are notorious space pirates, so that just feels right. So, or Nastardi's bragging about his brutal trading regime, trying to take on Takuma's Kyokugen trading and quitting the next day. That man, he's unhuman. Come back here, you. You need to come back to trade in my dojo. Marco, get the chains. Ram him with your Ferrari, Robert. Oh my god. Oops. Zhang Zip's hordes. See, now I'm just doing research on Ikari warriors too. Huh. Wow, I guess I didn't know some of the backstory to Victory Road, but apparently you were set up like it's a total scam by Zhang Zip's brother. That's a bummer. I mean, I would call that spoilers, but this game's like 40 years old at this point. Is it? When did this game come out? SNK Victory Road. 1986, so it's dang near 40. You could also use General Morden as a big bad. That motherfucker has already unleashed 2 alien invasions, an attack by critters from the Hollow Earth, and a time travel shit show. Man just does not know how to fuck with forces beyond his comprehension. Yeah, that guy's probably he's probably a Chaos Space Marine at this point. Whoops, Morden. But I guess I could go on about how we can integrate SNK into 40k, Warhammer 40 SNK. But I should ask questions. Does anybody have any D&D related questions? Looney, I think you are my entire audience though. So if you want me to keep talking about 40k and SNK, I am 1000% here for it. Like I'm all about it. I think I've asked you this before too, but when do you get to play as Metal Slug characters in a fighting game? Is it just the SNK Battle Coliseum, or are they in the actual like mainline King of Fighters? Let's see. Depicted as a bumbling madman, Saddam Hussein. Oh my god. Rebellion. Amadeus Terror Syndicate. He's Canadian? General Morden is Canadian? So wait, if it says he's a father, who is? Oh, his son is deceased. Let me line up some cues and do the quote of the day. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to ask Eli about that. So what prompted this question is that the PlayStation 3 has games stuck on it, and I'm really mad about it, and I've talked about it before. before, but Disgaea 2, like D2, the actual sequel to Disgaea 1, I can't play it. I own it. Can't play it. Don't have a working PS3. I've gone through 3 of them. There's also White Knight Chronicles. There's other games. Lunar the Eternal Blue is another really good example. I've already used that though because we talked about that last time. There's other games though. Just thinking about it. There are games that are stuck on systems. Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's the quintessential one. God damn it! And every time I think about it, I get so mad. Oh damn! So General Morden loses his wife and daughter in a bombing of Central Park in 2023. So that's coming up. The way this wiki is written is hilarious. He loses the ability to use one of his eyes. He lost an eye. Come on. After his regular army corruption. Oh. This like his backstory is like totally a Steven Seagal movie. Devil Reborn Morden. That's hilarious. Yeah, he absolutely just seems like someone who would give themselves over to the warp. Like he could have been turned into like a demon Primarch or something. I think Fio is a striker and a turn of the century king of fighters, but my memory is spotty, says Looney. But so far as I know, it's only Marco and Mars people in Battle Coliseum. Quick, we have to warn General Morden. Let's make haste towards Snow, Mexico. Come on, Marge. Anyone can miss Canada, tucked all down there. Yeah, but between General Morden and Zhang Zip, I mean, we've got a clear line into 40K. Okay, I'm gonna maybe go grab something to drink. I will be right back, but please ask your questions. Okay, I'm back. All right, question. What setting have I made that I'm most proud of? Gosh, I really should have used this, but my favorite setting so far has been that I made was shoot, what did I call it? It was gosh, I'm blanking. I really should revive this setting, but I was gonna write a whole book. So I guess this question really starts way back when, in like the tender years of 2003. Um, and in fact, I'll even go one better. Um, oops, there was an open call to write for a book, and this was like in the high time of Guardians of Order, who are making anime-based RPGs. See, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the question of the day for a minute, because we've kind of answered it. Or actually, no, Looney, did you answer the question of the day? Oh goodness, sorry, I'm getting burpy. Anyways, what was it called? Heart Quest. So this was back when Guardians of the Order was doing Big Eye Small Mouth. It had been out for some years. Big Eye Small Mouth, and so there was this open call from this company called Seraphim Guard for a game called Heart Quest, and oops, it's like, and I was one of the authors. I wrote 2 sections. One of them was about Magical Girl. No, was it? Yeah. So it's so funny. I wrote 2 sections. One of them was what I called Out of This World, which I had no idea was called Isekai at the time. So this was way back in 2003. But I wrote a section that was basically the Isekai section before Isekai was a commonly used term. And then I wrote one that was, yeah, I did. It was like magical girl centric. And I talked about how to run games like that. And it was terrible because I wrote a manuscript and they totally didn't use the revised manuscript that I did with like I fixed errors. So if you ever look at this book, it's chock full of errors. It's terrible. I hate it for my sections, but I'm still proud of what I wrote. I'm still proud of how it all went. Oops. Let's see, we'll bring this back, and we'll move this up. Nope. There we are. All right. So anyhow, all of that to say that now I remember. DM Mundi. Oh shoot, I didn't have it. DM. So I wrote for that game called Heart Quest a million years ago. In fact, let me see when this was even put up. It's not an accurate date. Whoops. But this was uploaded to DriveThruRPG or whatever in 2006. But the game is much older than that. Whoops. That did not work. I could just go and grab my copy off the bookshelf. Anyway, so I got nothing for this. I did not get paid. I did not get any kind of, like, I got the credit in the book, but I did not get any kind of remuneration for writing those 2 sections. I found that guy on a Discord server recently, and I tried to talk to him about it, and he fucking left. So he sucks. But anyways, he had written that book, and he was like, "Well, now we need more products, so please, like, write something for us, and this time we'll pay you." And I started writing DM Mundi. And DM Mundi was all about a world that had gone through a terrible upheaval. Basically, like very similar to Final Fantasy VI, where it's like you've got the world of balance and the world of ruin. You get to play in what is effectively that world's version of the world of ruin. Insofar as like, okay, everything's been reformed. There was a massive fight between like the good guys and the evil gods, and now what's left is this kind of reformed world that's this like donut-shaped continent with an island in the center, and the island in the center is what encompasses what the gods used to live in. and nobody goes there generally speaking, or at least nobody went there because let me see, World of Ruin, big fight with evil gods. Actually, no, it's not even with evil gods, with evil humans who enslave gods. World reformed into Donut Continent with Central Island where corrupt mage gods lived. Only now is it being explored. So yeah, that was the setting that I made. I should have used that for my most recent game, but I got bamboozled into thinking that I needed to do something different. Not by my players, but just by the undercurrent of TTRPG Twitter. But that's a conversation for another time. So I didn't read your thing because I was too busy trying to remember almost 20 years ago. As for quote, Looney says, as for quote of the day, holy Jesus, that's a tough one. I'm gonna use my IREM fangirl card and say R-Type Leo desperately needs an Arcade Archives re-release. And while we're rescuing old IREM arcade games, I would slice one of my memories. God, no anesthesia. Jeez, for a re-release of Ninja Baseball Batman, best goddamn brawler there ever was. Well, don't jigsaw yourself just for that. But I mean, that's impressive that you like that game so much. I cannot talk. I have vague memories of that game in arcades. I guess. Yeah. What am I saying? God, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try it. So let's go back up here. So Eberron, Curse of Strahd, Second Darkness. I'm gonna remove the Second Darkness, and let's go with Diamundi. One of these days, I might just write that up, like entirely. I have all kinds of writing on it. Lots of writing. When I had a blog for a handful of years, I tried writing stuff about it, but nobody seemed to bite. But well, whatever. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Is the first site as the group on the island. Okay. Any other questions? While you ask, I'm just going to take a few steps over to my bookshelf and get that HeartQuest book. HeartQuest was published in 2002. It is 20 years old. Holy cow. It was based off of Fudge, which sounds really silly, but that was a role-playing engine game system. I don't even know if people use Fudge anymore, but like it was basically like a proto Fate, and now Fate is all the big rage. Man, this this is so funny. I'm gonna have to go back and reread my sections in this book. Some of this art, like I don't want to be mean, but some of it was kind of cringe. But you know what? That's okay. Oh, I wonder. Wonder if any of these artists are still doing stuff. Some of the art I actually kind of sort of recognize. Teen romance. I did not write that section. Magical girls, though, I totally did. I actually did a lot of research for it. Yeah, I freaking love. Looney says, "Yeah, I freaking love Ninja Baseball Batman. It's absolutely insane, and I have a bunch of really fun memories and a bunch of friends playing through it at Old Arcade Center we used to hang out in. That's super cool. I have a lot of really good memories of arcades, but always by myself. Historical romance and out of this world. So yeah, I remember now. I combined the idea of like doing some kind of a historical setting. And I think I conflated the idea of being sent into the past. So I would have considered like Inuyasha, for instance. Because is it out of this world? Is it isekai if you get sent in the past? Is Inuyasha an isekai? It's the same world. But anyways, that's just a silly question. Um and just talking about kind of the exploration of historical romance because a lot of anime dealing with like, oh, let's go back in time and also let's have people kiss across time. And then out of this world, isekai, total isekai thing. Um, and ooh, oh well, that was a trip down memory lane. Question number 2: is there a place, activity, time of day, or whatever that it especially triggers your creativity? No, and I say that because if I were to try and reproduce my thought process, um, well, let me say this. Q2. Is there a place that spurs my creativity? The shower and the car. But I almost feel like that's not fair because I just spent inordinate amounts of time there. Um, that's pretty much it. But like sitting here and doing this is super helpful. Being on my computer, but that's also not fair because when I'm on my computer, I'm doing research, and so I can just cross reference like crazy. And sometimes I'll just go on these binges where I'll start looking up information. I'll look up historical information if I'm like, hey, how can I relate this idea to a real world event, and so on. But those are the three places. It feels kind of like it's not like a park bench uh, in a specific part of town. It's not like my favorite coffee shop or anything. It's not as exciting as all that. But those are the three places that I do most of my thinking. And I don't know that I would necessarily make that like a causal distinction. Like I think better there versus that's just where I do a majority of my thinking, and that's just how it turns out. I don't know. What in the world? Oh yeah, I need to contact my insurance agent. Yeah, you and I are gonna make fond arcade memories. Where you, Looney says, yeah, you and I are gonna make fond arcade memories where you are not alone. Even if the goddamned arcades are tiny, I might even end up buying an MVSX just to make the experience more realistic. I love it. I wonder if we should get a Pandora's box, or if that's not authentic enough. Um. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of a boring answer. Most important factor is that I record my thoughts. Sometimes I record ideas on my phone by speaking into it. If I think of something in the shower, I might be more likely to forget it. Now, I'm going to make the same plea I do every week, um, and ask if there's anybody in the chat that is not a talker. If you have a question, ask a question. Say hello. Be a friend. I would love to know what you like about the stream, and if there are questions you might have for me, about my games, about D&D, or tabletop RPGs in general. Pandora's Box, it's like a double arcade stick that plugs into your TV, and it has something like 6,000 games, and most of them are arcade games. It's basically like a double arcade stick with MAME attached. They run about $300 to $500 American. But apparently they're kind of worth it if you just good enough for me then. Like not, like it's just good times. It's just good times, and like for the fact that you have a double arcade stick, you kind of have the same experience. It's not authentic because it's not a standing cabinet, but it's still really cool, and you can attach it to a big TV. If your TV is big enough, you can have a big whole huge well, I guess you couldn't do that, but you could have the X-Men arcade experience with a double wide. I think you just wouldn't be able to get 6 people in it. Is the only thing. Man, I remember how much I tried fighting for Wolverine, and if Wolverine wasn't there, I played Nightcrawler. And if Nightcrawler was taken, then I'd play Colossus. But basically, I would just try very hard not to be Dazzler. All right, one more question, or should we end the stream there? What's up, music? If it runs X-Men, then I can run Darius. That really jimmies my Russells in a good way. That's great, Looney. I'll have to do some research because I want to make sure that I'm not steering you in the wrong direction. Oof. Something's going on with my sinuses and I need Vicks Vapor Rub. And I have it. I just need to use it. I don't know if people in Mexico are the same way as Mexican Americans are, but it's like Vicks Vapor Rub is in every medicine cabinet. It's like most of the people I knew growing up swore by Vicks Vapor Rub. And this is not a commercial for Vicks Vapor Rub. I was always Dazzler. Dazzler is cool. They just stuck her in a crappy outfit. Would have been cool to have Disco Dazzler. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that she was there. The problem was that it was a really bad timing in terms of like what was popular because I was coming off of like the new X-Men comic and the new X-Men Fox cartoon, and that was a lot of my introduction to X-Men, and there was no Dazzler, there was Jubilee. And so I was like, well, why isn't there Jubilee? Who's Dazzler? And the fact that there was that weird gap between the pilot cartoon, and it wasn't exactly a pilot for the Fox cartoon, but it kind of was in a weird way with the Australian sounding Wolverine. But that one had Dazzler, and that's what they based the arcade off of. In fact, I think you might have been the one that told me that, Lenny. But yeah, like the fact that they changed it so much from that was a bummer. And if they had gone with like a much like a different outfit for Dazzler, it would have been cool. Like it was just a lot of weird decisions ultimately, but I think there's like some kind of a YouTube video out there of like a pixel animation of like Magneto being really disappointed that Dazzler was the one that went to defeat him. Yeah, we have Vapor Rub in my house all the time. It's one of the mainstays along with Pitacil, Pitacilina, ointment, sal de uvas, wow, and pomadas de la campana. I'm gonna have to learn what those are. Oh, that Vapor Rub hit just right though. I'm not huffing Vapor Rub fumes. All right, we are at 1 hour and 41 minutes. That might be a good place to stop. Looney, if you have questions, maybe keep them for next week. Because, of course, having questions is always a good idea. I hope we get people asking questions next week who have not asked if they are so inclined. But I think we're going to go ahead and stop there. It was a successful stream. Oh, we didn't do something very important. And that is we were going to start to build the steampunk mage. Vitacilina is just a general use ointment. Sal de uvas is for indigestion. That's cool. But you know what? I might have to set. Okay, the first thing, set up template. Find online. So this is going to be. I don't want to make this overwrought. Maybe we'll start. Maybe we'll start with this next time. But we need to find a template. But okay, I think we're going to go ahead and stop there because I don't want to spend an inordinate amount of time on this. I almost think that I just need to make. Maybe I even make Wednesdays another stream where I just talk about the Warhammer 40k game, like an after action report would be kind of neat. It's almost like it deserves its own time, but I'll talk about it. Like I still haven't been doing video game streaming, and I need to go back to that, so I don't want to take away from it. Although maybe like a 2-in-1 would be cool. Like maybe I start with a Warhammer thing and then I go into video games. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and stop there. We are at the 1 hour, almost 1 hour and 45 minutes. I feel like that was a very successful stream. And that was a lot got done, and we're just kind of thinking of really cool ideas. I'm very happy of thinking about going back to Dia Mundi, and I need to start kind of throwing those notes together a little bit better. But there we are. That's it. Thank you everyone who is watching, will watch, has watched, and yeah, there we go. As always, remember that I plan and play games for you.